Welcome to day 2 of Riot Fest. I'm backstage in the media area, which looks vaguely prison-like, but I assure you it's lovely. Car Con Carne, sponsored by SopelSolar.com, S-O-P-E-L, Solar.com. Brent Sopel, who used to be a Chicago Blackhawk, who was on the Stanley Cup winning team. Brent Sopel is going to help you switch to solar. There are tax credits floating around up there, both on the local and national level, that will expire at the end of the year. So now is the perfect time to get in on solar, save a bundle, nothing out of pocket. Just go through the consultation online. It's fun to do, and it could change your finances for the better. SopelSolar.com. Do you miss the 1990s? Do you miss all the great music from that period, grunge and punk and indie? Think about if you could time travel back to the 90s. Think about all the cool shows you could see, the Pumpkins at the Avalon or at Lounge Acts, or Wesley Willis, anywhere. Think about just being able to zoom back in time and hang out in the middle of Chicago's legendary music scene. The best way to time travel back? It's the new novel, 90 Days in the 90s, a rock and roll time travel story. It's the ultimate novel about the 90s and Chicago's music scene. Join record store owner Darby on her trip back to the 90s in Chicago as she jumps on the gray line to time travel back to her carefree 20s, soaking up all the pop culture and rock and roll nostalgia you could ever imagine. To learn more, go to 90 Days in the 90s, get a signed copy while you're there, signed by author Andy Fry, or just pick up the book on Amazon or wherever it is you buy books. And we are backstage at Riot Fest. I'm James Van Ostel. Look right there, it's Skating Polly. I'm joined by Peyton and Kelli, who just walked off the stage at 12:30, and we're recording this not even 1 o'clock. I mean, you came like right off the stage, so thank you. Do you need to catch your breath? Do you need to walk around a little bit?
No, man, we're used to it. That's like one thing we pride ourselves on is like getting off stage very quickly.
I want to show you Riot Fest already on their Instagram account. Look at this picture of you.
I know, I saw. It's so cool.
It doesn't even look like a human being should contort that way.
Your leg
Right?
is upside down.
My upside down legs, my crazy. Yeah, well, I have wonky knees, so yeah. I contort in strange ways. And I'm double jointed.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that explains a great deal.
Yeah.
That makes so it was either going to be Cirque du Soleil or Skating Polly.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love your band for a lot of reasons. Also, you have ties to Chicago royalty, whether it's Nina and Louise,
Brad
or
Wood.
Brad Wood. I mean, that is Chicago royalty, and they've kind of helped you along through the years.
Yeah, they really have. Louise is at this point, she calls herself, I call her my fairy godmother. She actually just put out an EP of her old demos. It's incredible. And she's working on a new record, which, fingers crossed, I'm going to get to sing on.
Awesome.
Yeah, ever since we met them, they've been amazing to me. Louise gave me a bunch of clothes really recently. I've actually, on this tour, I've been borrowing this like amazing black shaggy jacket of hers. I have to return it soon, but I'm getting all the photos in it that I can before then. And Brad, Brad's working on our next record. It's going to be a double record. 18
double
songs.
record.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, let's talk about that, because I think that's interesting, the idea of a double record in the present day. In a world where music is kind of released a la carte, song by song, like having that vision of a double record, like a classic start to finish collection of songs. Tell me about the decision to do that.
Well, so pretty much it's been, coming next year, it'll be half a decade since the Make It All show came out, which is insane. Like, we used to put out records so much faster, but then, COVID, and I actually had 2 surgeries on my voice that made it where I basically was on mute for a year and a half, on and off. And we just had all these songs piling up, and then they all just felt connected, and I also felt like, because it's been so long, this is what everyone deserves, is at least this many songs. They at least deserve a double record. That's part of it. A second part of it is the legacy of Exile in Guyville and Exile in Mainstream, both 18 songs. I wanted to hit that 18 mark. We actually only had 17. And then Brad was like, write an 18th song. Do it.
That's just Brad's niche. He's going to do all those Exile type releases moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, this one isn't like a response to Exile in Guyville, which is a response to Exile in Mainstream. That would have been even cooler. It's just...
That's almost too meta. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I love your music. I also love the video work you do. And I think that music videos has kind of been deprioritized in the present day. So I love to see bands stepping up and doing cool shit on video. Is doing video fun for you? It seems like it.
Hey?
Yeah, it can be. It just depends on, I guess, for me, I don't know how it is for Kelli, but for me it just depends on how I like prepare myself going into it. I have to like prepare in a way where I feel like it's gonna be fun. Otherwise I just like act like a sad sack the whole time.
I'm a total ham. Like, I really, really like making music videos. I'm really hands-on in the concept and the shots we use. We did some of our best videos were the smallest budgets and just us working around the clock for like 3 days straight. Like one time we shot, 7 music videos in 2.5 days, I want to say. That was for one. And then our music video for the song Little Girl Blue in the Battle MV, we woke up so early to drive to middle of nowhere, beautiful beach in Washington so that we could catch sunrise, and film then. Yeah. Carried all of our gear across logs and broke some of our gear in the process. It was fun.
Almost got carried away by the tide.
And I like stuff like that. I love this very just do it. Okay, let's just go for it real quick. Put a traffic cone up. Well, we can't. That's not legal. Just do it. Let's just shoot it real quick.
That's DIY. That's how you get it done. Yeah. Like even on the video for They're Cheap, conceptually, I love how there's a color transition. Like yellow, yellow is the color of rocking. That's the transition there. I love the vision to that.
I know. We've never had a big enough budget to get clothes tailored to us or something, like have matching outfits. That's something I really want to do.
Like Devo.
Yeah, just for one video, just be and now we're all in, because Starcrawler actually just put out a really great video where they're all in this matching outfit. I'm so envious of it. But with that one, I was like, okay, we have no money. The song is literally called They're Cheap, I'm Free. I want to make all the art myself out of trash and stuff we found on the road. So all the set design is stuff we found on the road. We spent money on pink paint and the pink shag carpet, and that was about it. And we just had people donating their time to us basically to make this video really cool. Yeah. And all the clothes were thrift store, either borrowed or bought. And I put an apron around my shoulders as a cape. I don't know. Yeah, it was fun.
And the pink shag carpet, I mean, that's something that's an investment that will pay itself back for years.
Yeah, I know. I wish I still had it.
Oh, no.
I know. It's not mine, but yeah, that was a good, I love that carpet.
So with a new album, Exile and Skating Polly on the way.
Shut up.
I get, was the most recent thing we heard from you the Madonna cover?
That might have been, the last release. I think that sounds about right. We did 2 singles, Flyer and Playhouse. Flyer's actually one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I really like the way we go back and forth on the vocals. And we wrote the lyrics for that the night before we went in to track it. And we changed this, I don't know. Anyway, so we put out those 2 songs. And there's actually a big debate whether those should go on the album, but we put those out in 2019, so it's been too long, so they're not going to be on the album. I just hope people listen to them even though they're kind of lost in that single spot on Spotify and Apple. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, and I love the cover is Beautiful Stranger, the Madonna cover. On paper, on the surface, kind of a gutsy choice for a cover, but you pulled it off. I mean, it's your own interpretation of the song. I think you did that really well.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We also did a Shags cover of Philosophy of the World, and we recorded that at the same time too. And that's only been released in, to certain fans who donated to our GoFundMe, but eventually that will come out too. I love doing covers, but I only like doing covers if we can completely start from ground zero and remake it. That's
the only way to do a cover, is make it your own.
Yeah.
All right, so new music, you covered that. It's on the way. On stage tonight, it was a nice crowd in front of the stage today.
Great crowd.
They started doing that whole clapping thing by
all of them.
I know. And then
Maybe
I was
all,
okay, I'm going to clap too to tell the other people who aren't clapping to clap.
And I got to say, seeing the video screen behind you, it just looked big and badass and fun on stage today.
Yeah, it was really cool.
All right, well, thank you for doing this. It's so great to see you here in Chicago again, and we look forward to everything that comes next from you.
Thank you so much for your time, James.
Thank you.